Hidden Object Guru here with a look at some of the games I sampled in the past week. As always, I'll be rating them out of 10, based on how interested I am in playing more of them in the future. Rolling Adventure. The central conceit of this game, that instead of driving along a course, the player is on a conveyor belt and the course is being delivered to them, is a clever twist on the obstacle course genre, which keeps things fresh in what would otherwise be a fairly generic exercise. It allows the developers to fill the game with unexpected challenges as they deal with courses that speed up and slow down at unexpected moments. At times, the entire course can tilt up and down, completely changing how the jumping mechanics work. It's an extremely challenging game, but one full of satisfying, bite-sized gameplay. 6 out of 10. There Is No Light, 616. This is the third demo of this game I've played, and it's markedly improved every time. The combat has better flow now, there's actually a story, and an intriguing one at that. And most importantly, the new temp title uses the actual number of the beast, rather than the whole 666 thing that the marks like to see. All a demo needs is to get people psyched to play the finished version, which this absolutely accomplishes. 8 out of 10. Haiki. A sadistic platformer with a neat central gimmick. Haiki has players controlling a severed head as it navigates a brutal, spike-filled environment. This is the second game I've played about controlling a severed head in a sadistic platformer in the past 2 months, which is honestly kind of weird. The platforming action is complicated by a color-switching mechanic in which the player can make one of the 3 types of platforms or dangers disappear at any given moment. The controls are tight, but the level design is a little too frustrating. Even for the genre, the platforms and spike walls are one thing, but when the game starts crisscrossing lasers, forcing players to make multiple color swaps inside of a second, things get real annoying real fast. Well made, but not top tier. 5 out of 10. Toy Tinker Simulator. Another work simulator, this one cuter than most. It's a very simple concept. Players pick a toy, buy the materials they'll need to repair or refinish it, then fix it one step at a time. Actually playing it doesn't feel much different than Motorcycle Tank or Mars Rover simulators, but the constant flow of different toys keeps it feeling fresher than most of the competition. There's a real joy in looking at the before and after photos at the end of each job, making even the quickest task feel satisfying. 7 out of 10. Bright Memory Infinity. I played the demo version of this on the Xbox Series X and had a great time. But sadly, I can't say the same for trying to play the full version with a 5-year-old graphics card. The core gameplay is still incredibly thrilling, of course. The assortment of powers and weapons that the main character has access to are stunning, and make for some truly fluid gameplay. Shooting, slicing, and using magic powers to explode enemies plays and feels wonderful. My only issue is the game's melee system. Melee enemies can only be killed if the player first parries their attack. This, unfortunately, requires a smooth frame rate, which my graphics card simply couldn't offer. It's still a damn impressive game, just one I'm not able to play. For people trying to run it on a potato, 2 out of 10. For anyone who can get it on Xbox or has a solid computer, 8 out of 10. Doctor Who: The Edge of Reality. This is an expanded, flat version of the VR title Doctor Who: The Edge of Time. And for all intents and purposes, it's the same game, just playable with a mouse and keyboard. On the upside, this means far more people will get a chance to play a fairly good graphic adventure. On the downside, the graphics are very rough in the way one normally associates with VR titles, and their desperate need for performance over visuals. The switch to first person also makes the various horror sequences considerably less frightening, but if anything, it makes the puzzles easier to interact with, at least when it comes to inventory management. Normally I wouldn't play the same game twice, but I'm excited to see the new David Tennant content, so this is certainly a 7 out of 10. I've been the Hidden Object Guru, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to see more from me, drop by the stream on YouTube and Twitch. Weekdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, weekends noon Eastern. Special thanks to my patrons Marissa Desire, Eduardo, Brian, and Joanne. I'll see you back here when I've played more games, but until then, au revoir.